Sok, you're saying Kim Il-sung is innocent, even though by all accounts he lived like a mass-murdering monster. Do you also feel the same compassion, let's say, for Hitler?
Yes.
Can you expand on that further?
Hitler, like Kim Il-sung and serial killers, is one-sided within the full spectrum of human psyche. These one-sided individuals don't have a sense of guilt, while most people are two-sided, which means they have experienced and received loving and nurturing from their mom or someone else. This constitutes the majority of human beings. If at any point in their lives Hitler and Kim Il-sung had received loving and nurturing, they would have become two-sided like everyone else, and they would have had the chance to experience self-doubt like rest of two-sided people. If that were the case, they would have ceased to be guiltless mass-murdering monsters because of doubt they had experienced, like delusional messiahs. For them to have that, they would have had to receive loving and nurturing first. These one-sided individuals can practice loving and nurturing because they don't even know what they are. When it comes to loving and nurturing for these individuals, because depth of their traumas, it has to be unconditional love, like a mother's love. Otherwise, nothing would cut it. However, Hitler and Kim Il-sung mustn't have received loving and nurturing from two-sided people. It follows that it was a two-sided people's choice to have mass-murdering monsters like Kim Il-sung and Hitler in their lives. As a result, Hitler and Kim Il-sung only see people either acting lovingly or talking about love as hypocrites. In case of Hitler, at a particular time in history, everyone and every nation were practicing their superiority with their national anthems and flags. There were no nations not hating other nations, and that is still true. The problem is, all the nations cannot be superior at the same time. That is not possible. Therefore, fights and wars are inevitable. In this war-spirited world, like World Cup game, Hitler was merely a coach in a consensual soccer game. He happened to be innocent, and his innocence manifested into becoming a leader. In the end, no one can blame on the coach if the game was consensual. We are the society who execute serial killers, and how convenient is it to just kill off children from the killing field?
How do you think North Koreans perceive the rest of the world, especially the West?
More than unfairly. In Korean history, after long years of feudal system and subsequent Japanese colonization, which both symbolize unfair distribution among fellow human beings, some Koreans thought that communism was the right choice to have fairness and equality. And as an example, my fraternal uncle Lim Bong-hun was considered as the brain bringing communism to the country. He spent most of his high school years in central prison during the last leg of Japanese colonization. And then he was basically a simple, gentle soul and more like on a delusional messiah type. And at some point later on, he became the mayor of Seoul, capital city, during the wartime. And he is believed to be killed by Kim Il-sung. And Kim Il-sung, being masterminded criminal, he killed off all of his competitors. However, although communism didn't seem to work in a sense of bringing happiness to the people, the capitalism has shown deeper destruction of the world, especially at year 2012 now. Whether North Korea and South Korea made the right choice between communism and capitalism could not be debated, in the sense of the pot calling the kettle black. Korean War was simply a civil war, which is a right for only Koreans. But during the war, it was used by the West and the East, West being United States and the Western Europe, and East being China and Russia. Korean Peninsula happened to be very important militarily. And then Korean people, just like the children in Cambodia during the wartime, were caught as puppets of superpowers in the world during the Second World War, which transformed into Cold War. And Korea still remains to be only open Cold War sore spot under the name of truce. And to understand how North Koreans feel about this is to imagine America having a civil war for equality, and in the middle of it, let's say Canada and Mexico interrupted, and Canada and Mexico drew a line in the middle, so northern side of America live on northern side while still having friends and relatives in the south, and then in the south, Mexican military are residing, pointing missiles at north, while northern people's intention was to have equality. I mean, how would you feel? That's exactly how North Koreans see. Regardless of ideologies, this world is divided to play the domineering game to domineer, all reacting from their traumas between being delusional messiah and mass murderers. And when it comes to Western intention, there has been books and movies, such as ones done by Noam Chomsky and Michael Moore, stating any international activities done by America are not from humanitarian reasons. It's just all about domineering game in a one round of monopoly. For North Koreans, for them to feel any acceptance about the West is to find a nail in a haystack.